We'll talk about my bookie in a second, but let's talk to our man Roman Harper. Well, I'm projecting they're in Baton Rouge for UCLA LSU.
Oh.
Is that correct, Harp? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're in Baton Rouge?
No, I'm in New Orleans. I'm heading to Baton Rouge.
Okay. New Orleans to Baton Rouge.
Kind of correct.
Looks like he's heading to South Beach.
Hey, man, when it's a vibe, it's a vibe. You know, I'm back home in my city. It's hard not to love it here. When you receive this much love when you just come in shortly and visit. So it's really good. I got to go by the complex. I got to check on the Saints yesterday. If you guys didn't know, I got to enjoy myself off season during training camp. I spent a week with them doing some coaching and a lot of just learning with this offense, some things about defense and whatnot, and just being back on the grass. It was excellent. And I just kind of got acquainted. And now when I see all the guys again, they're playing well. The vibes are really good right now in the building. It's been a great 24 hours for me.
All right, Roman is presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round, MyBookie.ag, code next round. When they double that sign-up bonus, you sign up, you make a deposit, they double it right there at MyBookie.ag when you use code next round. Let's get to the games, and let's start down on the plains. Auburn and Arkansas playing, where right now on MyBookie.ag, Auburn's a 2.5-point favorite. Fascinating game here. As you watched Hank Brown play on tape, what did you see out of him against New Mexico?
That he can make some throws. That it was cleaner for him than it was for Peyton Thorne. Peyton Thorne has this weird thing where if it's not clean, he may still force it. His feet kind of get out of the way, like get in the way. It's just not as clean. I thought Hank Brown tried to play cleaner. He was far from perfect. When I left the game, I didn't look at Auburn and say, man, I wasn't impressed with the New Mexico win. The thing I did like for them, though, is that they got Jarquez Hunter the ball. Like, they used him, and he was the main focus. If Auburn sits up here and tries to make Hank Brown a superstar as a freshman, whether he's redshirt or not, that's not going to do well for Auburn. Auburn needs to lean on the run game of Jarquez Hunter. I thought they did a good job of checking the ball down to him and just getting him the ball in space and letting him be their best player, which he truly is. So for me, I walked away thinking Auburn needs to run the football more and lean towards that if they want to be successful. Because the thing I know about Arkansas, I don't know how many times they're going to stop you, but they're going to score points, and you don't want this thing to get into a shootout if you are Auburn.
If I was to say, Harp, that Taylon Green is Jaden Daniels without an arm, like he's just
okay.
Is that fair? Like I really believe the upside of this guy is incredible. I don't know if he'll ever consistently be able to be an accurate quarterback, but he is a dangerous quarterback.
So I question that. So I wouldn't say he's just like not accurate. He makes some crazy decisions with the ball every now and then. Like, you can't throw that. Like, you should not throw some of the passes that he throws. And they're like, whoa, we should not do that. But his upside, like you're saying, with some of the scrambles, and it's not really, I don't even know how fast he is, as much as I know his stride is so long. And he just gets to the corner faster than everybody else that's trying to chase him. And it's really, really fun to watch. And so I would love for Arkansas to do the same thing I just told Auburn to do, which is run the ball more with Jaquindon Jackson. I think he's a really, really good running back. Honestly, and low-key, I think he's my favorite running back in the SEC right now, Arkansas. And so he's very talented. They do a really good job in the zone scheme and the run scheme, and it's really, really good. But they throw Bobby Petrino wants to throw the ball some. But when you do that, Taylon Green might make a crazy mistake and cost you. That's what happened versus UAB. That's why that game was so close before eventually Arkansas opened it up. Taylon Green was not on. He was very off early. If they would have just ran the ball, they'd have been fine, but they didn't. But then when you do throw it, he's going to scramble and get a 20, 30, 40-yard gain. So you just don't know. I don't know what to say about Arkansas besides they are a very dangerous team.
I don't know what to say about this Tennessee-Oklahoma game because you know me, I'm the layman. I'm the guy that looks at this and says, oh, Tennessee's going to go in there and blow them out. But you're the defensive guy, and you know what Brent Venables can do. What do you see in a Brent Venables defense that could slow down Nico?
I tried to explain it to somebody like this. I'm like, all right, well, and you got to look at Oklahoma as a whole, right?
Yes.
The big thing is that their offense is struggling right now. They put up points early. They have these stretches and lulls in games where they can't do anything good. And so you got to understand that. And I played on teams like that at Alabama, where if our defense gave up 20 points, we were going to lose that game. We just knew that going into it. So what do you do about it? It's like, all right, well, that guy over there, he's about to go punch your mom in the face. But you can go fight him beforehand, but you got one hand tied behind your back. Doesn't mean you're not going to go fight. Just means you know what type of fight you're about to go into. That's where Oklahoma's mindset needs to be defensively. They can't have mental errors. They can't blow coverages. They have one or two of these every game where it kind of gives the team momentum or something like that, or they give up a big play because it's a lot of their own lack of discipline or play, right? So they got to get that cleaned up because Tennessee is too good and too explosive offensively to give them anything, and your offense is not. And so you got to play that type of defense. You got to be locked in for 60 minutes and go out there and execute at the highest level consistently. And if you do that, you give yourself a chance to win because Oklahoma does create turnovers. And that's one thing that Tennessee has been good about. They haven't had a team that's been able to take the ball away and put pressure on them. And NC State, for as much as we want to put into that game, NC State was not a good team, and they were very, very undisciplined defensively. They were all kinds of stuff.
Roman Harper is with
you
us.
guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
It dropped out.
Like,
No, you're good. It dropped out for a second. We're good, though.
Sorry.
No, you're all good.
Okay.
Roman Harper is with us. MyBookie.ag code next round. That's who brings you Hart. MyBookie.ag code next round. He is on the road from New Orleans to Baton Rouge. Let's talk about that game because you would think LSU going on the road and winning a conference game in a hostile environment would make me feel better about LSU, but it did not. I don't feel any better about them after that win than I did before, Hart.
Hey, you know what? That's so true. It's like when LSU won that game versus South Carolina, but only thing you learned was maybe LSU's not as good as I thought or wanted them to be. And South Carolina's probably better than we thought or wanted or thought they were. So it was somewhere in the middle. It felt very meh. And LSU could have very easily lost that game if the refs don't throw that flag. The game, it was lost. It was lost. So that happened. I think LSU has to continue to learn or figure out who they are. I think they're a team that needs to be a pass-first team, passing the ball 65, 68% of the time to run it later. They came in telling everybody they had the best O-line in the country. They wanted to be this smash-mouth, run-downhill team, and that's not who they are. If they do that, they're not going to be good. They need to let Nussmeier throw it. He's playing well. He's completing the ball at a high percentage. He's not turning the football over besides the two crazy plays versus South Carolina. But other than that, he's taking care of the football and gives them their best chance to win. Defensively, they are better than they were last year. Doesn't mean they're good. They're just better. So I don't know because they don't win a lot of one-on-ones on the outside from the secondary standpoint. South Carolina was able to throw the ball on them. And if Lenore Sellers doesn't get hurt, I don't know if LSU wins that game. So we told Phil might completely feel differently about them. So they have to get better in those areas, and they don't stop the run well. I don't know what they do well defensively for LSU. Are they better? Yes. But are they good? I wouldn't say that either. So they got to figure themselves out. And luckily, UCLA is not very good offensively. So this is a time where you can get your confidence up because UCLA is, man, I watched them on tape. They are a struggle bus. The quarterback's kind of got happy feet, doesn't make great decisions all the time. They don't run the ball extremely well. It's weird. I think they should do more of a college-style offense. And Eric Bieniemy is running a more pro-style offense. And I don't know if they have the quarterback or the players to do that.
These Tennessee numbers right now, Harp, offensively and defensively, are insane. Now they go to Norman. Biggest game probably in college football this weekend is right there. This Oklahoma offensive line has not looked good through 3 weeks. Their defense has looked really good. They lead the nation in takeaways. How do you see this thing playing out?
I think I'm leaning towards Tennessee. But, man, I just know at home, the emotions of college football, Nico Iamaleava's, first real road game as a starter. Those things matter. It's weird up there in Oklahoma, a lot like it is at Jordan-Hare Stadium for Auburn. Just weird things happen there. It's you just never know. And the moment you count them out is the moment they show up and do really well. I'm really looking forward to the game because it's going to determine a lot of different things. I already said it all year long. Oklahoma was the barometer for which we will judge the whole SE because of the teams that they play. So their record versus these teams will determine who you are later on. And so Tennessee gets the first crack at it. Oklahoma does get their center back, their offensive guard back. They get back a couple wide receivers who've been hurt, and the wide receiver depth has been they're not been very good on that side. They haven't been very explosive. So Oklahoma's going to look better because they got more of their guys back. But is it good enough to go up against Tennessee when Tennessee's interior defensive line has been where they've been excellent at? And so that to me is going to be the battle tested. I'm leaning towards Tennessee right now, but I'm not 100% like all in yet.
Do you want to talk about Florida, Mississippi State? This is a yucky game, Harp. I mean, I look.
Is the weather bad? Yucky. Is the weather bad?
No, I think that's the best part of the game is the weather. Actually, the weather's going to be nice.
84 and sunny.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. I thought DJ Lagway would be an improvement. I don't know football, obviously. DJ Lagway did not solve things for them. So Florida is...
But did they play him correctly?
Okay.
Like, all that matters. Like, I thought Napier did a good job of playing both quarterbacks, right? Like, all right, thumbs up for that. You got to have some kind of sense of the game. And I'm not here to tell Billy Napier what to do. Makes enough money to do what he wants. But when your defense plays as terrible as they do, you don't give yourself a real great opportunity. So you don't to getting the boo birds out. Lagway and Graham Mercer just interchanging from series to series. I don't love that. I want to have a feel for it. What if somebody's hot? What if one of them's cold? Graham Mertz came down, led you to a really good drive, go down there and score. I'd roll him back out there. Like, keep some kind of momentum going. You need anything to go in your favor right now. Instead of like, no, this is just what we're going to do. This is how I determine we're going to play it. And then you lack feel of the game and the emotions of the game. And anytime as a coach, you go and plant your flag in the sand and say, this is what I am, or this is the only way I do it. That's never going to end up well in the future. So you just got to be aware of those little things. But overall, Florida's defense is terrible. Mississippi State, they don't play well at all defensively. So I think it's going to be a lot of points, guys. Honestly, I think they're going to score a lot of points because neither one of these teams stop anybody really. So this might be the most firepower game we have all weekend, and nobody's talking about it, and we're all sleeping on it. Just okay. You heard it here first.
All right. Harp says hammer the over. Florida and Mississippi State. I got to find
what is the over.
I got to find what the total is in that one. Florida and Mississippi State early game. It is 58.5. 58.5 combined points.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, hammer it.
Hammer it. Harp says hammer it. All right, you can do that right there at mybookie.ag. That is who sponsors Harp with us each week. Roman, safe travels up to Baton Rouge. We appreciate the time. See you next week. All right. Yep.
Going through one of those parishes that doesn't have good cell service.
Anything between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Mybookie.ag bringing him.
Indeed, they are. Mybookie.ag code next round. He mentioned that Florida and Mississippi State game. We gave you the total in that one. Where, by the way, Florida is a favorite on the road. You might think Florida not good enough to give anybody points on the road in the conference. No, they're giving Mississippi State a full 6. You can play that right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag. You make that initial deposit. They're going to double that deposit. They're going to match for you. So now, boom, look at you. You got free money to play with this weekend at mybookie.ag. Code next round to get that bonus when you sign on at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Mybookie.ag code next round. Mybookie.ag code next round.